Hi all, welcome back. I am Erin, the Two Martini Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram, and this is my Flosstube channel about cross stitch. It's mostly cross stitch, also a little knitting because I've just taken up some knitting, and probably a little bit of life thrown in because that's just how these videos roll. So, welcome back if you are a regular returning subscriber. It is Monday, September 28th. So, I'm coming back on a Monday morning. So coffee, no cross stitch happy hour. I did get a haircut this weekend. Um, so playing with it's a little bit shorter, and she cut it to kind of help encourage the curl. So it's Monday. It's Monday morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I think that I am going to be a Monday. I think I'm going to be just recording on Monday lately. I That's how it's been going, and I think it might be just Monday recording. So videos should be up Monday evening or Tuesday morning, depending on how quickly I can get to editing and uploading. But that also means coffee. So it hasn't been cross stitch happy hour lately. It's been cross stitch coffee morning chat. That's okay. Maybe eventually we'll get back to happy hours, but for right now, in the time of COVID, when everybody is doing school at home and work at home, and it's just harder for me to get up, dance at home. They're doing dance at home. A lot of times it's just harder for me to get up into that upstairs room. And once again, I forgot to mute all my notifications. Every week, guys. Every week. You'd think I'd learn. Nope. Been at this like almost a year and a half. I think this is Flosstube 68. Still haven't figured it out. Okay, so what's going on this Monday morning? Y'all, I have FFOs. I have fully finished objects to share today. So we're gonna have some FFOs, there's some whips, there's some plans, there's some haul. We got a little bit of everything today. I'm gonna get through this as quick as I can, even though I've got a lot of stuff. Hopefully this won't be super long, because as soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna drive over and meet a couple stitchy friends for a outdoor picnic stitchy get together. It is sunny today. You can see the sun starting to come through the window. That's another reason I want to get through this. I don't want to be too chatty today, because that sun's going to start getting crazy and affecting our light. But it's sunny. It's going to be like 70 degrees. Actually, it's almost going to be a little too warm. I think Wednesday we're supposed to be back up in the 80s. Last day of September in the 80s in the Pacific Northwest. I'm actually a no thank you on that. I want my fall. But for today, I'm really happy. I will take it, because I'm going to meet Robin and Becca and some of the other Kitsap stitchers for an outdoor picnic, socially distanced stitchy get together, so we can see each other's faces before the rain really does set in, and we won't be able to probably see each other until spring. So let's get to it. Did you hear me say finishes? Fully finished objects. I got in a mood yesterday. That was another reason I didn't record last night, is because I was in a mood to FFO things. That doesn't happen that often, so when it does, you got to run with it. I made a small dent in the pile. There is still an enormous pile of stuff to FFO, so hopefully the mood hits me again in the next couple weeks. But I'll show you what I did get to. Okay, so first fully finished object is my little I voted sticker pin. So this is a little freebie from Ink Circles. I had showed that I had finished stitching it maybe a week or two ago. I will link the chart below. It is a freebie from Ink Circles. And all I did to fully finish this was I stitched this on Aida, 18 count Aida. I put it on some sticky back felt, so the kind that's self-adhesive. So I literally just cut it out a little a little square, stuck it on the felt, made sure it was adhered really well, cut out around, and then glued magnets on. Because this way I figure I can wear it on, you know, election days when I vote. And then the rest of the time it can be a needle minder. So there we go. And then this can be my weekly reminder that if you live in the US, you need to make your plan to vote. Early voting has started in a lot of states. So ballots are going out in a lot of states. We should be getting ours. Ours actually mail, I feel like a little bit later than other places here in Washington, although we are a full mail-in state. That's the only way we vote. That's not totally true. There are a couple voting centers if you don't have a place to receive a ballot, but otherwise, if you're registered to vote, your ballot is mailed to you here in Washington, and we either drop it off in a drop box or mail it back. That's the way it's been for years and years. I love it. I hope the rest of you get to all vote that way soon. Makes it nice and easy. You don't have to worry about if you're working that day. You can have a cup of coffee and leisurely, you know, do your research with your ballot, sit down, give it some good thought, fill it out. So there's my first fully finished object. There is a theme clearly for my FFOs, because the next thing I fully finished was my suffrage act. How amazing does it look in this frame? I showed the frame a few weeks ago. I got this from Frame and Wire on Etsy because this piece was an odd size. They make custom frames. You can buy standard sizes too, like they have standard sizes, but if you message them, they can do any size that you need, with glass or without. I didn't need the glass, and they all come with an acid-free, like matte foam core board. So I mounted it directly to that foam board that they provided. I did put a piece of batting on there just because I like that. I like it to have like just a tiny little bit of poof. I only did one layer. And I'll show you, this is fully finished, sort of. So here's the back. I probably should have laced it. I have laced pieces before. It takes time, and I was feeling like I could either lace this one or I could get a few other things finished. So I think what I will do is I would like to just pin the extra fabric down. The straight pins I had were like standard dressmaker pins that are like an inch, a little over an inch long, which is too long for this. So I've ordered some tiny little short finishing pins, and I will pin this up. It did come with a hanger, but my mistake, the way I gave them the measurements, they had the hanger on there so it would hang this way. So, and actually for right now, this is just leaning on a shelf by my computer. Well, it's where I do my phone banking and text banking, and I thought it'd be nice to have it there. It will eventually hang on the wall, and I have a hanger that I'll put on there. But there it is, all FFO'd and displayed by my desk. I love it. And this is the industrial black frame. That's the one I got from Frame and Wire. I think it looks fantastic. So suffrage act. All right. Next up is, I don't even think I had started this. Last week I just showed it. This is the chart from Hemlock and Rye Stitchery, which is Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. That's her design site. It's a Gumroad site, so it's a pay what you want. And this is the one that she put out for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, When There Are Nine. This stitched up so fast. I thought that I was going to do it as like a little flat with some lace around it, but the lace that I had was more of like an antique looking, like it was tea coffee dyed. And this I had stitched in B5200. So I thought it didn't look quite right with the white, but I had this frame in my stash that I clearly gotten at Goodwill for a couple bucks. And it is like a little like roughed up, but I don't mind. I kind of love it, and it fit perfectly. So, and it stands up, right? You can't see that. It has an easel on the back. So I think it looks great. I'm really happy that I just had a frame that worked. And so this is also by my desk for right now, and we'll find a permanent place for it somewhere, maybe after the election. So, all right. I have one more. Can you guys believe it? That's three. That's three. I have 4 fully finished objects. Okay. Last one is Hello Pumpkin. This I just did as a flat, like you can see, flat, and trimmed it out with some Lady Dot Creates trim. This is her mini pom-pom in Polar Ice is the name of the color. And look, like, could that be any more perfect? I love it so much. And I did it this way because I knew I wanted to display this on like a little magnetic kind of message center that we have in our kitchen area. So I will put a picture of where this like lives like this right here. So there we go. For some reason, I always knew I wanted it there, and you can see we still hang like the girls' dance schedules and other things up there, but it looks so cute, and it's September. Even though it's going to be in the 80s, it is time for fall and autumn decorating, and so I wanted to have this fully finished. I love it. And today the winter tree Hello Deer starts, so this had to be FFO'd before I started the new stitch along from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I'll show that more in plans. So there we go. 4 FFOs this week. Don't know what came over me. I hope it comes over me again soon. All right. So those are fully finishes. I didn't have any finish. Well, that's not true. The When There Are 9 was a start, a finish, and an FFO this week. I should mark it on the calendar. It should be a holiday. All right. What's next? So whip. So what else did I work on? What did I stitch this week? Well, first thing is full coverage piece, and I worked on Farewell to Anger this week. It was supposed to have been worked on the previous week. I didn't for whatever reason, so I just held it and kept it in rotation this past week. So this is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's the regular chart. It's not a max color, it's not a super size, it's just the regular chart of Farewell to Anger. And I didn't get a ton of work on it this week, but it did get some work, and so I feel okay about it. Oh look, I clearly thought I was going to do more work on it than I did, because I still have threads hanging, like not even wound up. I clearly thought I was going to get back to it at some point in the last night. Okay, so here we go. Farewell to Anger. You can see I started the diagonal up here, and I'm working my way down. I think this is only maybe like 500 stitches, 400 or 500 stitches, and but it got some work, so I'm okay with that. And this will go out of rotation, and I'll bring Harry Potter book covers back in for this coming week. So that's a full coverage project. Farewell to Anger, and that is stitched 1/1 full cross on a 25 count pre-gridded Lugana with just the called for DMC. All right, so other than full coverage, what was I working on this week? Well, it's still Sampler September, and so the next sampler in my lineup that I had spun was And a Forest Grew. So this got 3 days worth of work into it. I also used this for crazy domino effect in semi-sane stitchers. So as the month has been going, I think this was my 8th. Yeah, this was number 8. So I needed 800 stitches in the 3 days that I had slotted to give it. So as I'm getting further into the month, I need to get more stitches on each piece. But that was great because I got really good progress, and this is where I got to. And this is essentially a page finish. There's a couple, like the very tippy tops of some trees, but like this right here is the page line. So all of this is on the next page. So I should put a picture in. I'm going to put a picture in of where it was when I started here. Okay. So you can see, I think I did this tree, this one, these, the bird. I think I did that one. This got a lot of work. I mean, there's still a lot to go because it's going to use almost all this fabric. But I feel good about the progress that I made on it. This is a long-term project anyway. I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count soft ivory linen. So it is like a soft ivory with all of the called for DMC. So that got quite a bit of work. A lot of my stitching time this week went into And a Forest Grew. So that was excellent. So I worked on that. I feel like you all saw that last week. Because when did I work on that? I worked on that Sunday and Monday of last week. So you probably saw that already. Well, you saw it again because I know that I did more work on it after I showed it last week. Okay, then Tuesday was our Mirabilia start day. It was so fun to see so many people start a Mirabilia, whether it was their first or not, on Tuesday. And I'm so jazzed that my very first Mira, I get to start with so many friends. So I started on Tuesday, Touching the Autumn Sky, my very first Mira. So there is a stitch along for this. There's 2 hashtags. There's hashtag my first Mira Sal. If it's your first, like myself and Alicia at Resist Stitch, it's our first Miras. And I think a couple other people jumped in with their first as well. I know Annie, well, no, that's a lie. It's not Annie's first. So if it's not your first Mirabilia, but you started one with us in September, then there's also hashtag Start a Mira September. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'll put it below. Start a Mira September Sal. So Touching the Autumn Sky. That's what I started. And I got a pretty decent start on it in that one day. So there it is. I started in the top left with all the leaves and the trees, and I am stitching this on this amazing piece of 32 count linen in autumn by BeStitchMe. And I talked to Becca. I let Becca help me, my youngest, choose which way to start it. And we both thought that having we have a lot of Japanese maple trees around us and they get red. And so we thought it'd be really fun to have the red up here where the leaves are. And then she'd be back in this area. So there's my start. It doesn't look like much, but that's actually quite a few stitches. It's quite a bit of stitching, even though it does not look like that much. So she started and we're off. So excited. All right. And then Wednesday was the 23rd. And on the 23rd of each month, unless it's something crazy like arbitrary August, I work on Letters from Mom. Here we go. By Janette Douglas. And I work on it on the 23rd because this first one is going to be for my oldest daughter and her birthday is on the 23rd. I am going to have to stitch this 3 times So that's why I want to make regular progress on it. And here is where I got to. I actually did make really good progress on this. I brought this border. You can see I've turned the corner down here. I brought this border down and filled in this like little wreath and flowers some more. So did I do it? I don't think I extended the border any this way. I think, nope, I think maybe I did. I think I took the border maybe both directions. So there we go. And I am stitching this on a 36 count linen in platinum. Flax. They're so close. They're practically the same. So this is flax, and I am stitching this with all the called for colors. All right. So that was Wednesday the 23rd. Then on the 24th, I worked on my birthday piece because my birthday is March 24th. And so I started this piece on my birthday and I work on it on the 24th of every month. And that is Owl Forest Embroideries Duke Clover. So I bought this as a kit. I'm pretty sure I got it from 1884 Stitchery. They're the US distributor for Owl Forest, but I bought the whole kit, so you can see like I literally just cut this off the top of the box. But that's the piece, and I am stitching this on 32 count platinum linen. I did swap out the linen from the kit just because I thought it was just a skosh smaller margin wise than what I wanted, but I am using all of the amazing kit flosses. They come with the little bobbins that have the symbol on them and everything. This is a great kit. I would totally buy another kit again. And this is where I am on this piece. So on the 24th, I was working on, I think I only had one of these little like thistly things, just the very top. So I put in all the rest of that. I didn't get that motif done, but it's huge. Like it's the biggest, like it's one of the main motifs. So I feel really good about that progress for one day. And yeah, so that's Duke Clover. It's so pretty. I don't know that it's going to be done by my birthday in March. We'll see. If I'm getting close, I might make a big push in February so that I can start something else on my birthday. But I would like to have this finished by my birthday. That would be great. I think that I had counted out that I had to do like one large motif and one maybe little small one each month to get that done, but we'll see. That's a concern for later. We'll worry about that next year. All right, so after those two pieces, I was ready to start my next sampler for Sampler September. So the next piece out that got worked on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, got 3 days, is Game of Swans. So this was the next one for Sampler September. Also on Crazy Domino Effect. So this needed 900 stitches in the 3 days, and I got 900 stitches in. We have not seen this piece in a while, so I will put a picture of where it was when I started right here. And then this is where I got to. You know, 900 stitches is a lot, but then you think, should I have had more progress for 900 stitches? But I did get good progress. I got this whole flower in. I got these flowers and some leaves in. I finished out the basket, and I got more work in on that swan over there. So that's Game of Swans. I love this piece so much. And I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count, I think it's pearl gray. Hold on, I know I have the tag in here. I'm pretty sure I do this every time. Where is it? I'll put it below. I'm pretty sure it's pearl gray linen, but with all the called for colors. Pretty sure this is pearl gray. It will say below with all the called for colors. So, which means it does look, I think that I think that this mock-up was the DMC. And I don't know if the Gentle Arts colors changed or what, because it does look very different from the DMC conversion. I will say that, but I love it. I think it's cool and funky, and I really, really like it. So, game of funds. It's been really fun working on all the samplers. So, that's it. That is all of the cross stitch whips that I worked on this week, which feels like a lot less than normal, but I think it's because I was putting in like bigger chunks of time on my samplers for Sampler September. But Sampler September is almost over. So let's talk plans. Today, let's not do plans. I do have another whip. It's just a knitting whip. Because seriously guys, I'm still knitting. Look at that. Which is good because you'll see later in haul I'm still buying yarn. Okay. So this week I did do a tiny little bit more work in the Lentilla shawl that I had started with Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher. We had started the Lentilla, we had cast it on together and are doing a knit along, a CAL. See, I gotta learn my knitting acronyms now. I did do like one more tiny ruffle section on that, but then that's all I worked on that this week because I wanted to get a restart on the shawl I'm doing for my grandmother. So most of my knitting work went into that this week. So I'm not going to show the Lentilla. I'll show it probably next week. So what did I work on? I restarted for the third time. Third time's a charm. It's a good thing I'm stubborn. I am doing this Blue Jean Saturday asymmetrical shawl for my grandmother. It is by Debbie Lake, which is OC Knitiot Designs. I love that, Knitiot. I think that this is a free pattern. Yep, it even says this is a free pattern. So I printed it in black and white, but you can see it has like garter sections and lace sections. And so there's definitely new stuff for me to learn in this. I've learned knitting through the back loop. Is this? Yeah. I'm like, is this the one that I do that on? Yes. Knitting through the back loop and intentional yarn overs. So I got a really good restart and I'm cooking with fire now. So here is how far I've gotten. And I am knitting this with, wait, do I have it in my pocket? Did I stick it in my pocket? I don't know where the tag went. I'm knitting this with yarn. It's fingering weight. I got it at Ben Franklin, and I will put below what it is because I don't remember and I don't have the tag with me. I know where it is though. It's just not here. I got it at Ben Franklin. It's really, really pretty. It's fingering weight. I am having some kind of weird issue where two ends are pulling out of the center. I have a feeling it's going to get to be a bigger problem than it is at the moment. I don't know, y'all. It'll be fine. It will be fine. We're working with it. But yay, and I am stitching this on size 5 needles. Size 5 needles from Knit Picks. Can you tell I'm new at this knitting thing? Yes, they're size 5. Size 5 needles from Knit Picks. And look, I learned to put in a proactive lifeline. So I finished this whole like first setup and garter section. And now I've started on the first lace section. So you can see, it's kind of hard with my lifeline in there, but you can kind of see the yarn overs and the lace. I only have two rows back and forth of the lace. So I only have 4 rows of the lace section in. So probably next week you'll be able to see it better. So, but it's going really well. I feel like it's going really well. I feel like I love how this yarn is knitting up. It's really pretty. And yeah, it kind of actually sort of is starting to look like a shawl. But thank you to everyone who are like all of my knitty viewers, all of my viewers that cross stitch and knit who have like just jumped in with so much great advice and tutorials and helpful tips. I so appreciate it. It's been really fun to learn something new. It's been really fun to learn something new. I'm enjoying the knitting, and yeah, so thank you. Thank you for everybody who has messaged me or left comments with tips and tricks. Keep them coming. Keep them coming, because I'm clearly making all the rookie mistakes, which is fine because that's what you do when you're learning something. So, all right, now we can talk plans. Now it's time for plans. I am flying today, huh? Haven't been very chatty. It's not been, the world is on fire. I have lots of feelings about it, but today it's coffee and stitching. This morning it's coffee and stitching. Okay, plans. Today is the start of Hello Dear by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I am so excited. This is what I'm going to take with me to go stitch with friends. I printed out the first section of the pattern, but I don't think there was a picture, I'll find it, that shows what the first part is. Let me find it. Oh, here we go. All right, so there's the first section. You can see it's, can I zoom? There we go. It's the cute little robin that matches the needle minder, and some pine cones and holly and pretty blue leaves. So cute. I think my plan is I'm not going to stitch his Santa hat. I'm just going to use his like body color and face color and just leave the hat off. Mainly because I think I want this to be a true winter tree that I can leave up till, like February or, the beginning of March. So I would like to make it more like general winter and less Christmassy. And I think that that's going to be, from the pattern, I think it's just going to work fantastic. But I am going to take his little Santa hat off. I may need to stick an extra tiny little leaf in there. We'll see. So I was sent the entire kit from Sally at Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and you can still get a kit, or if you want to get started with us, you can just get the PDF patterns. I do have a coupon code, which I will put below in the description box. So I'm so excited because I'm like, kit, floss. If you want to get one of her kits, it came really pretty quick from the UK. If you want to order a kit, but it is all DMC, and I am going to be stitching it. I got the kit with 16 count Ada, because Hello Pumpkin, I had just done the PDF. I had done the PDF version and I had put it on 18 count white. So the 16 will be about the same size. It'll be a tiny bit bigger, but that's fine. As you saw on where I'm displaying it, there's plenty of space for it. So ready to go. I have the first part all printed out. You can even get, this is an add-on to the kit, but it is so adorable. You can get a little needle minder. I'm going to be using the little needle minder today. So excited to start. So these are really fun to stitch. Her colors are fantastic, and I loved Hello Dear. So when Sally did the sneak peek of this, I knew that I wanted to stitch this, and I'm so excited to get to like be one of the people that stitches it along. So join us. Join in the fun, because it sounds like it's going to be a whole series. There'll be a spring tree and a summer tree, and you know I love a seasonal series. Don't know what the dog is barking at. Hold on. Okay. Big excitement. There's a stray cat out in the backyard that looked like our cat Leo. So the dog was barking at the cat that was outside, and we wanted to go find Leo to make sure that he is in fact in the house. I've seen that stray before, but he does look very much like our cat, and so every once in a while you see him wander around and be like, our cat is in the house. Where we live, I'm surprised that I've seen this stray cat around as much as I have, because there are coyotes. We heard them howling about a week ago. There were like 4 just a few doors down, howling so loud. Probably about a week ago we heard them, but we do have bears that wander through the yard, and coyotes. We live a little bit, it's not country, but it is definitely exurbs. So we don't let our cats outdoors because they would likely get eaten. There's also eagles and such that will pick up a cat. So that was a bit of excitement on a Monday morning. All right, back to plans. Hello Dear starts today. Tomorrow is the 29th, which means the last of my samplers for Sampler September comes out for Cardinal Points, because I work on Cardinal Points every 29th for the Long Dog Leap Day Sal. And we will see if in 2 days I can get 1,000 stitches into that to finish Crazy Domino Effect. That's probably a bit of a stretch. I doubt I'm going to make it, but I'm going to give it a try. We'll see. I've got a lot of other work to do, so I will give it the good old college try. So that takes us through September, and then Sampler September and Start-tember is over. So I have one more start and one more sampler to work on, and then it is officially October. And I do know that the very first day, do I have it here? Oh, I do. Okay, so October 1st is a high tea start. High tea is the brainchild of Caroline of Off the Grid Needle Arts. And last year, I think she did a high tea start the last Sunday of every month, maybe. And this year went to more quarterly. So once a quarter. So it was January 1st, April 1st, July 1st, and October 1st. You do a high tea start. And high tea is, it's a special event, right? It's something that's special that you look forward to. And that's what these starts are. They're things that maybe you've been wanting to start for a while. And so my last high tea start of the year is going to be The Color of Winter by the Blue Flower. I figured this would be the perfect thing to start stitching as we head into the dark days here in the Pacific Northwest. Although this week, still gorgeous and sunny. But I love this. I've had it kitted up since like last November. I think I kitted this up in November of last year at Acorns and Threads. So I am going to be stitching this on a piece of 36 count linen in Chantilly Cream by Lakeside, and it is like a peachy, like blush color. That is, it's not the light playing tricks. It is like a peachy, not a peachy, but it is like a blush kind of color that I just thought would be perfect with these. And I think it's almost all the called for colors. I think I have a slip in here, so I must have subbed a couple. Yes, looks like I subbed a couple of the Weeks Dye Works. I subbed Chickpea for Peanut Brittle, Pimlico for Stepping Stones, and Grasshopper for Mossy. But I did keep a couple of the Weeks. And so that's going to be my start on Wednesday. My high tea start for October. I'm really excited to start that finally. I had considered doing this for Leap Day start, I think, and then ended up going with Cardinal Points. But I knew that I wanted to start this year. I love this. So it says the color of springtime is in the flowers. The color of winter is in the imagination. So I thought this would be a great stitch to have on the go this winter. I'm thinking I might change the color of these pots from this white to like one of the navy colors. I don't know why. I just think it would ground the piece a little bit more if this was darker. But I mean, I love these. Are these reindeer? What are they? Look like reindeer. And those trees and the house. I don't know. Janine's just a genius. I love blue flower. Okay, so that's Thursday, the 1st. And then, I don't know. Can you believe I don't even have plans for the rest of the week? So it's October. So Darktober stitching. Like it is normally I would pull out and would start all the like spooky autumn Halloween things. Except I'm in the mood to finish stuff. That's how I'm feeling right now. I feel like I have a stack of projects that if I gave them 2 or 3 days, I could finish them. I mean, I know, right? I know that that's my motto. This will stitch up really fast, but I really like, for real, seriously, I feel like I have so many projects that if I just piled them up and I just picked one up, this is what I'm in the mood to do. Pick it up, work on it till it's finished, and just pick all those projects that I think are just a few days of stitching would finish it up. So that might be my plan. I mean, I have a few days. I have until Friday really to figure it out. So this week, Harry Potter book covers is coming back out for full coverage. Start Hello Dear, Cardinal Points, Start the Color of Winter. I also want to get my Tempting Tangles, Enjoy the Sunshine, Stitch Along caught up. So, I mean, I'm not behind. I'm on the current release, but I would like to finish it by when the next part comes out on Thursday. So that already seems like a lot of stuff, right? Like that already seems like a lot of stuff. I would maybe like to, for October, have a focus piece again. I have loved when I've done that in the past and had something that I put like a length or two in every day first thing. So I might figure out which project would be a good contender for that. And then it's not an alliteration. It's got nothing to do with Darktober, but it might just be get it done. Get it done, because I'm feeling the need to finish. You know, I got to add to that finish pile of stuff that's not FFO'd. All right. What did I buy? What came in the mail? I have a couple of stitchy things and a couple of knitty things that I got this week. So let's start with stitchy things. The first thing that came in the mail was my So Much to Love bag of the month. And as soon as I show this, Color of Winter is going in it because I love it. I am in the bag of the month club with So Much to Love. So every month you get a bag with some extra goodies. This month she sent, there's always candy, and she sent Werther's Originals. I love these. These are going to go in my purse with me today. You get a bag of tea, and this month it is cinnamon apple chamomile. I'm a total tea drinker anyway, and I usually have some caffeine-free tea at night when I'm stitching. It was hard not for me not to drink this the day it came. And I totally was. I told on my daily vlog that I do for channel members, I was like, I'm drinking this tonight. And then I realized, I need to show it, right? I need to show it on the Flosstube. I'm drinking this tonight now. And then I'm going to show you the bag first, and then I'm going to show you the little accoutrement that came with it. I love this bag this month. Here it is. Isn't it so pretty? Look at the little salt box houses that say welcome, and the little like folk art birds and flowers. And then this month she did this lace instead of her kind of signature rickrack, little heart, little coordinating fabric on top, and then that's the inside. So beautiful. And I think this will be the perfect bag for color of winter. So that's the bag. And then what came with it was this little floss drop. And look, it totally matches with a little salt box on it. Isn't that fantastic? And this is from Sampling of Memories. So she's on Etsy. Sampling of Memories, and this is just beautiful. Just beautiful. So you can bet my flosses for color of winter are going in there on the floss drop with the pretty floss jewelry and in the bag. Love it. Love getting that bag every month. They're always fantastic. Cannot go wrong with her bags. Sometimes if there's extra, she puts them up in her Etsy shop. So I'll link her Etsy shop below because there's lots of bags that are like ready to ship that you can buy. And occasionally she'll have extra like packages of the bag of the month. So occasionally, not always, but all right. So that was the first thing I bought. And then the second thing I bought was a PDF pattern. As soon as I saw this posted, I hightailed it to buy. And that is this piece of gorgeousness for Modern Folk Embroidery. And this, look at it, is a reproduction of a family heirloom, a family coverlet that belongs to Ellen Reed, our very own Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour Ellen. So Ellen had posted up a picture, you can go see on her Instagram, a picture of the coverlet that's been in her family for a really long time. I can't remember what year she said that it had been woven for her family. But she posted a picture, and then Modern Folk Embroidery said, hey, can I reproduce that? She said, of course. And naturally, part of it goes to charity. So I think 20 or 25%, don't quote me, it says on the listing, which I will link below, goes to the Red Door in Toronto, which is a shelter that helps women and families in crisis, refugees that need, anybody that just needs a little shelter and care. Red Door is there for them. This is amazing. I have no idea. I'm not even sure that I'm going to stitch this in its entirety, but it is so beautiful. And I have always admired Modern Folk Embroidery's charts and pieces. Almost got pulled into the yearly stitch along, which is just stunning. The cool thing with Modern Folk Embroidery is he shows you what it is for the whole year, and then it's just released in parts. It's absolutely stunning. For this, I actually kind of think that I might stitch this here and do it as a drum. I might stitch this bit here as a drum. I mean, you could do just this motif here just once if you didn't want to stitch the whole thing. I mean, I may do that even. Like this just alone stitched would be beautiful. So I don't know when I'm going to start this. I don't know what parts of it I'm going to stitch, but I had to have it. And it was a good deal. It's 10 pounds. Somebody weigh in and let me know if it's pounds or just 10 pound. So I think with the exchange when I bought it, it was like 13 US dollars. So fantastic deal for a stunning chart. So there we go. Have I held it up long enough? The Zimmerman coverlet, a Canadian heirloom. Thank you so much, Ellen, for sharing your family treasures with us and allowing them to chart it. I can't imagine having something so, it would be just fantastic. It would just be so amazing to have something like that in my family. We do not, but it would sure be lovely. Okay, I also picked up some yarn this week. Jules Moonshine Crafter on Instagram had a little D-stash she was destashing some cross stitch and some yarn, and I had to pick up one of the yarn sets she had. Check this out. It is by Sweet Tree Yarns, and I was completely sold. It's a mini skein set and then one full skein of one of the colors. But look, it's Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood mini skeins. So Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, so it's Hello Neighbor, Mr. McFeely, Trolley, which is what the full skein is in Trolley, Daniel Tiger, X the Owl, and King Friday. And I'm such a sucker for Mr. Rogers. I grew up in Pittsburgh, and so we would take field trips. I mean, I'm that old. We would take field trips down to the set. The school would occasionally, I think I went twice, maybe 3 times. I might have gone once with the Girl Scout troop, but we got to go be on the set and talk with Mr. Rogers, and I love Mr. Rogers. So I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but it sure would make like a bright, fun, like cowl or something, right? But you guys tell me, what would be a great project for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mini skeins and a full skein? They are fingering weight. I assume so. This says it's fingering weight. Yeah, it's a sweet sock fingering weight. 460 yards, 100 grams in the full skein, and these are 10-gram mini skeins of 40 yards each. What would be a good project for these that I could use them all together? See, I'm now at that point where I'm buying yarn with no project in mind, but just because the colors were fabulous and it was Mr. Rogers. There you go. I also bought some yarn. A viewer, somebody who watches the Flosstube, commented that, hey, you're knitting, you're in Seattle, you should check out Hazel Knits. Her colors are amazing, and she's local in Seattle. Well, of course I did. Of course I did. Went and checked out Hazel Knits, and you can go and pick up locally. So I went down and picked up curbside at her studio where she does her yarn dyeing, and here's the information. So it's Hazel Knits. She included a card with some little stitch markers, which is great. I'm going to actually put one of these as a little progress marker on my shawl since I showed you guys. Okay, so here is her Facebook and Instagram, and I'll link it below. Hazel Knits. So I went on to her website and picked out 3 different yarns. I got 2 in her fingering weight, which is called Entice. This first one was the September color of the month, so you could still get it for like, it's a featured color. I think she has the color all the time, but it was on sale because it's the featured color for September. It's called Dragon Tail. Oh, look at that. It's so beautiful, and it feels amazing. It does have some cashmere in it. So it's 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. And it's a luxury fingering weight yarn. And that one was a special price. And then I got another one of that same weight, and this is called Quill. And it is like it's showing, it's looking really purple there, and it's not. It's dark gray. There we go. It's a dark gray with little bits of dark blue in it. So you can see little bits of dark blue, but otherwise it is like an inky gray. I love this color. It is so good. Okay, and then the last one I got was a DK weight, and it's of what she calls, there's a section on the website that are called naughty skeins, and she spells it like this, naughty, naughty. So there's skeins that either have a knot in them and she's marked them, or she had to like cut a knot out, and so the skein is split, and she'll tell you, it says on the website which it is. But this is a DK weight in a color called Druid, and it has a marked knot in it. But they're a good price because they have a knot in them. And I figured, I don't care. I apparently knot up my yarn all the time. So there we go, Druid. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna make out of that either, but I couldn't pass up that color. Oh yeah, look at that. So good. Yeah, so this is a DK weight, 275 yards. 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. And it's so squishy. So these are the yarns I got from Hazel Knits. Once again, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. There was a really beautiful pattern, free pattern on her site for a cowl that I definitely want to do. So one of these may be that pattern. It was a pretty like kind of lace cowl that was really pretty. So yep, I'm fully down the rabbit hole, buying the yarn, casting on the things. I think the 2 things I have cast on are definitely going to be enough for me right now, especially because one of them is that reasonable to get that shawl done for my grandmother in time to send it to her for Christmas? I feel like it is. I stitched up that bandana, or I knit up that Empower People bandana pretty quick, but that was much smaller and also DK weight. So we'll see. I'm going to keep chipping away at it. I really enjoy at the end of the night when I'm like done stitching, I'm stitched out for the evening, just doing a little bit of knitting or taking it with me when I'm going to be sitting somewhere for just like 10-15 minutes. I don't know. Okay. I said this wasn't going to be super long, and apparently I lied. I can ramble. No matter what, no matter how much I have to talk about and show, it seems like an hour. It takes me an hour. But we're on to giveaways. So last week's giveaway was for this little primitive small one by Dames of the Needle. Dames of the Needle? Yeah, I love it. It looked like a tiny mini little small sampler to me for the end of sampler September. I ran the YouTube comment picker. I asked you to tell me you wanted to stitch the small, and this is going to Susie Marshall. Susie Marshall, you won. And I have your address because you filled out my Google form. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The first person I picked actually had not filled out my Google form, and I feel like it's been long enough that, and I've said it enough that I just, rather than chase somebody down, I pick somebody else. So Susie, you win because you filled out my Google form. If you would like to enter for the giveaways, I need you to fill out my Google form. It's linked at the very top of the description box, and that way I just have your address and can send it to you. So if you want to enter the giveaway, fill out the Google form, please be 18 so that you can give me your address, and do not say like giveaway or free or anything like that. I'm going to tell you exactly what to say for this one. It was, I want to stitch the small. So what are we giving away this week? Well, I was going through my stuff and came across this super cute little Lizzie Kate Flip It that is all things fall. What's it called? Oh, it's November. It's Lizzie Kate Flip It for November. It's a November block. Well, maybe I should have given this away in November, but you can stitch it in October and it'll be ready for November. And quite frankly, those all look like October things to me anyway. So, you're going to use the word, this looks like fall to me. So you're going to use the word fall. So you can say, I want to stitch the fall chart, or tell me if fall is my favorite season. It is my absolute favorite, which is why I'm not happy about this 80-degree day coming up. And it's going to be in the high 70s. I mean, normally that's where I love it to be. Sunny and like 75. Perfect. But it's time for fall now. So what are your favorite fall things? Let me know what you're doing for October, maybe what your October plans are. Are you stitching fall charts? Are you doing Darktober stitching? Just tell me what your plans are for fall, and I will put you in the running to get that little chart. Okay, I think that's all I have. everyone. I think we did it all. We did it all, and I'm gonna clean up real quick and pack up my stuff and head out to do some stitching with friends. So I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe, making their plan to vote, and finding something that brings you a little bit of calm and joy. For me, it is definitely my stitching and now knitting. So until I see you next week, cheers.